And what about that? Yeah, well, that's going. Why isn't this? Oh, I'm not sure whether anybody can the music isn't playing. Okay. Well, after a lot of fiddling around, we're 10 minutes late. It's 7:40, but Rouser Radio is back and playing for you. Ah, we need to get a few things sorted. This is kind of a party with the many bands. All sorts of other things may have gone out that you heard that I didn't, but figureless. And it's the 21st. Thursday, the 21st. Is it Thursday? Yeah. So Wednesday, 21st of July, 2022. It's time is 7:41. This is Rouser Radio out of Lewes, East Sussex. Right. Well, good morning, and we are playing catch up here, and I hope that the catch up is enough. Let's see what we can do here with all the technology that we have to employ. Um, and employing it isn't the easiest thing in the world, but nonetheless, we're having a go. And uh, it's all over the place, but nonetheless, we are, I think, getting there. And there we go. We are up and running at last. So I'm glad that you bore with us. Uh, I think that well, not quite. We have is uh, 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 we actually have what I find is that the the computer doesn't always follow the logical thing that it should. It doesn't. It doesn't always go according to plan, and let's see. We'll have to try and put up with this morning. It's as opposed to our usual thing, but here we go. We can get on track. I think a little bit on track at least. So if there's one thing that gets mucked up, what then happens is that of course everything else gets mucked up. So welcome to Rouser Radio. It really should be Faulty Towers Radio, I think, is the way that we actually carry on first thing in the morning. But let's go straight to the newspaper headlines, shall we? It is uh, the Sun. Love you and miss you forever. The Sun leads on the funeral of cancer campaigner, Dame Deborah James. No, quite seriously, the 40-year-old podcast host and fundraiser died in June after being diagnosed with bowel cancer in 2016, and a very popular figure she was. So the Daily Mirror is out of the lying man and into the dyer. Uh, the Daily Mirror does not appear too confident about the next leader of the Tory party, as his front page describes Wednesday's events as out of the lying man and into the. Oh, good morning, thank you. Steve, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Lovely, lovely Steve on this morning. So anybody, ladies particularly, the handsome bugger, if you're coming in through the front door, you go to the desk, you get a really good smile from him. So there we are. That's Steve looking after us this morning. Jane's got the day off, um, and Steve is just as good at making us feel at home and welcome. And so he brought the coffee. Uh, so out of the lying man and into the dyer. It's Daily Express. Daily Express says farewell to Boris Johnson and suggests the outgoing PM could be back following his comments at Wednesday's Prime Minister Question Time. I'm not sure. I haven't followed his. Apparently, he gave a little hint and sort of said, "You lot aren't up to it," and he's quite right. uh, and so, farewell, Boris. His parting shot at Rishi and a hint, "I'll be back." The Guardian describes the final stages of the Tory leadership contest as a blue-on-blue dogfight. Well, the Guardian would like to see the country moving left, so I'm not too worried about that. Blue on blue dogfight. Sunak and Truss face off. Um, so Liz Truss, is the Daily Mail, has promised to hold an emergency tax cut budget if she was the Tory leadership contender. According to the Daily Mail, I'll hold an emergency tax cut budget is indeed the Mail's headline or front page. The Times, Sunak, pick me or lose power. And actually, there is something in that because it doesn't matter. It is no leading candidate once gaining power can do much to alter events as they are immediately, and if at all. only the response of the country, of course. And I think what we're looking for is more than anything else is leadership. Is leadership to show that we are handling these situations. We know we can't alter them. Inflation is inflation, and it's global, and we must accept that. Um, so we're really looking. Oh God, now we've lost that. Never mind. Never mind, my dear. I remember a little skit in a review that was done way back in the 50s called Beyond the Fringe. And there's a little skit in which a man and his wife are having a conversation. And she says, "My dear, it's on the radio. We are at war." "Never mind, my dear," says the man. "Let's go inside and have a nice cup of tea." And I think that's a nice cup of coffee is and anything and everything we really need this morning is because talk about if it goes wrong, it's going to go wrong massively, and it is. I'm afraid massive is the term we should use this morning. So let's just take a breather and down with your get up by the mini vandals. Well, why not? Well, down with your getter. It's from the mini vandals. Let's take a breath and go back to the pantomime that is taking place in Westminster. And my goodness me, is isn't it a pantomime? The Times quotes Sunak as a "pick me or lose power." Rishi Sunak has warned the Conservative Party members to choose him as the next leader or risk losing power in the next general election. That's according to the Times. The Daily Telegraph uh, advantage Truss in the race to be Prime Minister. The Foreign Secretary has the advantage over the front runner after picking up more than any rivals in Wednesday's ballot. That was yesterday's ballot. Um, so Liz Truss is looking strong coming up on the outside. Uh, the Metro, the pennies dropped, is the Metro's take on the Tory leadership battle after Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak made it to the final stage of the contest. Ho, ho, ho. Um, so, yeah, I see what the Metro is on. Pennies dropped. In other words, Penny Mord has gone. She lost out. Uh, she got a strong case, though. I have to give her that. She came from nowhere, came up on the outside, and only in the last furlong did she lose out. The Daily Star. What is my Daily Star? Hopefully, it'll bring a smile to my lips. It's good night from me and good night from him. It says. Uh, a Netflix boss says TV will be dead in 10 years. Well, he's probably right. The way that it's all going and globalization and so on. But where is the strength? Where is the focus going to be? I have maintained for quite some time that it's going to be on small scale. And we have here in Lewis a model small scale. And let's hope that perhaps what we do is we find some sympathy and wire. Uh, the, we think that we've got it right, and we think that we're reading the market right as well. Quite often, the big boys enter into fights of their own and totally ignore the smaller guy, and this is what's happening here, I think. So keep an eye on Mirador. I bet you it'll be around in 10 years' time. It's managed to last the last five anyway. Right, the I, Liz Truss, new favourite to become Prime Minister. What was the? Oh, yes, it's good night from him, and it's good night from me. Liz Truss, new favourite to become Prime Minister. Um, so, uh, well, nothing more has to be said on that, I think. The Financial Times. The Financial Times says Liz Truss starts as a slim favourite against Rishi Sunak in the race to number 10. And of course, it's now in the hands of the party membership, those people who are party members. I would imagine all sorts of people who have let their membership lapse are being lobbied right now. Please take out your membership card again. Uh, and well, we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to see. You never can tell if she does. I think we've got Sunak's um, bottle level. I mean, as I personally didn't think that he did a great job as Chancellor. But then again, we lived in sassy times, and then suddenly we hit crises, and the crises covered up how we were handling the answers to them. And Rishi got two budgets under his belt. Neither of them did a great deal of favour for anybody, in my opinion. It was largely smoke and mirrors. And do we need another smoke and mirrors man as Prime Minister? I'm not sure. I actually am of the opinion that the good chief executive officer of a company doesn't know that much about his company. What he does know is good management and how to inspire his workers and how to get around him a good, if you like, cabinet who will deliver from their departments. That's the answer. Can Rishi do it? I don't know. I don't think necessarily he's made many words to that effect. Can Liz do it? I don't know. I don't know that she's made many words to that effect. But really, is Boris irrepressible as ever? Has to go at Rishi and sort of says, Don't get too comfortable, son, because I'm going to be back. Good for Boris. As a matter of fact, the chances are that if he was standing again, the party membership would vote him in. He was a naughty boy. He's a wild cannon, a loose cannon. He did all sorts of peculiar things. He is eccentric in the extreme, but he was a leader. He saw us through some key issues in his premiership, and everybody lost sight of that because of an ice cake, which those members of the cabinet and the members of the government who really don't stand up for much at all. They don't stand up at all. And as a consequence, we haven't got anybody who comes out as a leader. Now, Rishi, in my book, does not stand out that way. Undoubtedly, the man has got a lot of talent in various ways, and maybe he could have become a good chancellor, although I doubt it. Liz Truss, I only see from the headlines. Will she be a good leader? I don't know. She's got balls, I'll give her that. And she's taken on the establishment in the accepted view of things. But will she be a leader? I don't know. Perhaps she'll be another Margaret Thatcher. I don't know. What I do know is that the country is in a mess. Mind you, the world is in a mess. We're in a world that's in a mess. Is if we think we've got leadership problems, let's look at the United States. Oh my God. We've got nobody to really lead us very far. And so, dear me. Right, that is that's the newspaper headlines. Shall we? Should we dare to? I think what we're going to do is play another piece of music. Let's play Breeze by Telecasted. We know it's fairly safe. That's Breeze by Telecasted. Rather pleasant, and particularly to calm our nerves after uh, such a traumatic start to the day. We've gone through the front pages, navel gazing as usual. If you want to find out what's happening in Ukraine, or if you want to find out what's happening in the rest of the world for that matter, don't bother with the front pages this morning. They're all about the Tory party and who's going to win. And everybody's got some ideas, and we become such a polarized society is nobody will accept whichever candidate. He could be a communist for all I know, and nobody would care because they all are more worried about ice cake and half bottles of champagne. Mm. And if that's what we're worried about, that's what we'll get. Dear. And that from somebody who always sees the glass half full. But let's go to the back pages because there we have got the news that we were looking for to lift us. England 2, Spain 1 in the ladies' is it World Cup or European Cup? Euro 2022. I lose track of these things. So many of them now. They're just money spinners, aren't they? But Georgia Stanway has scored a beautiful goal in extra time, yes, in injury time, to give England a 2-1 victory, and it was a comeback because for the longest time they were 1-0 down, and then they managed to scrape back to 1-1. They were outplayed apparently for much of the game, but that's okay. I mean, in the end, the result counts. And if you're a scrappy enough team and you've got the will to win, then you can. And right, there we are. Look, England 2, Spain 1, with the photograph in the back pages of Stanway scoring the winning goal. Wow, it was some rocket, quite a distance, and in it went. God bless her, and all who sail with her. Well, football, as usual, has got all its scandals and so on. It's getting boring. Oh dear. Uh, uh, Nothing else much. Meet the planet's hottest teenager. Well, who cares? Really, to be quite honest with you. Well, I suppose a lot of football people will. The Gulf War leaves Ryder Cup in tatters. Well, there we go. You see, they're all infighting, and it's the sort of thing that happens when too much money sloshes around. Then is Whiteman is the world champion. We mentioned this yesterday. Wins the 1500 meters gold. What a wonderful victory! And he's Jake Whiteman. We're back on track on the track. That's good too. Two good bites of the positive cherry then. The football and ladies football and the track. I don't think that cricket has. I don't think cricket is giving us any joy this morning, but it has throughout the summer. So who can blame them? And this is a short form of the game, which I've never really quite understood. Now, here's a business thing. Flying taxis are ready for takeoff. A tycoon wants to cut journey times for millions. They could shorten a 4.5 hour journey to just 30 minutes. And mind you, I suppose you're going to have to pay a fortune, but these air taxis are on the way. But I suppose really we've got to be very careful that um, that the airlines don't get so clogged up that we're going to have air taxis crashing into one another. But it was bound to come, wasn't it? It was bound to come. And oh gosh, the main headline though is that the Royal Mail is at war with the unions as losses in the privatised uh, mail service that we have now loses millions. And the bosses threaten a breakup as workers vote to strike. Ah, really? Without change, this will be our last hurrah. Uh, these are the sort of drivers, though. These are the sort of drivers that actually change our way of life, and perhaps the way that we know the post office at the moment, and the way that we get deliveries is all going to change. I just hope that they don't decide to deliver by computer. God help us. God help us. Save us from computers. That's what I say. It's 8:08. Oh, right, okay. So the front pages of the newspaper uh, are all about Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, who is going to be the winner. With Truss, the book is favourite at the moment, but who knows? Because it goes to the vote of the Conservative faithful now, and I think it's September the 9th that the new boss takes over. Boris goes to the Prime Minister's question time yesterday and sort of tweaks their tail and says, you lot are worthless. And he's quite right there. I'll be back. Whether he's right there or not, I don't know. But you have to confess, his buffoon though he appears, crazy though he appears, is there was nothing about Boris that didn't show leadership. And it was only those people who were crazy enough to get their knickers into a twist that actually undid him. But there we go, there we go, there we go. Looking back in history, if you're looking for a clean leader, don't go to the history books, you'll never find one. They were all, one way or another, either corrupt, bent, or one way or another, not fit for office, and did wonderful things as leaders of countries and nations. It's a different world. It's a different level. And what we try to do is to, like we do with everything, is try to bring it down to, shall we pull that statue down? So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Will we get the leader we deserve? Actually, the leader we deserve is very much. We do deserve it. As a nation, we have gone to sleep. We don't want to go to work. We complain about everything. We wrapped in our own folly, thinking that we can get away with caviar today and never have to pay for it tomorrow. And now it's all coming home to roost. And what happens is that people stay away from work. Press one, press two, press three. Well, there's nobody there anyway, and it's a computer. And if the computer won't do it, that's tough. And the computer can't do everything. In fact, it is very limited in what it can do. It needs human direction. And if we're not prepared to give it that, then we get what we expected. Isn't that right? Take 11. I think it's time to go, particularly with the disaster we had at the top of the show. Okay, it is heading for 24 degrees, a gentle breeze, no rain. Although tomorrow there are thunderstorm warnings out, but today is it's going to be quite a nice day, really, a bit like yesterday, about the same. Warm enough, but not boiling, not Sahara levels. It is a fight between Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, for the leadership and therefore the next prime ministership of the United Kingdom. And the Lionesses won 2-1 in dramatic fashion. What more could anybody want on a Thursday morning? Don't ask me. See you tomorrow. Stay tuned for Mirador Television Break an Egg. That starts at 8:30. Bye-bye.